Monday. That was a horrible intro, but we're going to roll with it because we don't do any takes here. We take one, action, shoot. It's a Monday. It's November, which is kind of crazy to think about. I'm not going to lie. But welcome to November. Halloween. That's out the door. Out of sight, out of mind. What we really here for today is obviously hoops. But it's feeling a little bit more cool outside. The air's a little bit more crispy. Maybe we'll be wearing pants soon. I don't know. It's Christmas time. It is absolutely Christmas time.
I just want to say I don't know where you're living, but it doesn't feel cold at all outside. So
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not right now.
I don't know what you're talking about, but
it's gonna be cold. As I checked the weather earlier, yeah, you know what? Cold.
Define cold.
82 degrees, 83 degrees.
All right, man.
81 degrees. That's better than what we had, for the past couple months. It's Christmas time, and that's a beautiful thing to say. And it's already week 3 of basketball. It's November, like I said already. Zach, how was your weekend? It's a Monday. We ain't here. Grinding again. Grinding away. It's Monday. Obviously, it's a Monday, but, how was your weekend? How was your day?
I mean, yeah, it was a great weekend. Really, until I had to watch the Spurs play basketball yesterday in person too. Nonetheless, I mean, that was just one of the worst games I've been to in a while. Especially, honestly, I can't really say especially from any perspective, but it definitely hurt that Dylan Harper got injured, which sucks. But not a whole lot of positives from that game. So great weekend otherwise.
I mean, it could be snap today. I mean, you got a Cowboys jersey on. Y'all playing Monday Night Football against the team from here, Arizona. You don't want to talk about it, but you're repping the team.
Come on, man. Talk to me tomorrow after the trade deadline.
Okay. I mean, I know it's a Who's podcast, but it's also a podcast with me and you on it. So we got to talk a little about you. Y'all think y'all going to win?
No.
Okay. We'll get that out the way. That's wraps. All right. Bet. Yeah. What was I going to talk about? Oh, yeah. We got just news for y'all today. I think our thing is Monday's going to be a little bit of like a weekly recap type of thing from the last week or so. Just talk about random things that's been going on. I don't know, people putting up cool numbers, people hurting themselves, people going crazy like they always used to do. And then, you know what? We're going to wrap it up with a new segment, maybe every week, maybe every episode. A segment is Zach's favorite, King of the Hill. Welcome back, King of the Hill. I got a fun topic for him today. He got me last time. I don't even know when the hell that was. That was a long time ago. But we back with the King of the Hill segment. It's going to be a fun one. Let's start first. Points. First one. Shout out to Zach for cooking all these up. I snoozed off on them. So shout out to Zach for bringing all these up. He's locked and loaded for this one. Let's start off just with, Philadelphia. Tyrese Maxey. They lost to Boston on Friday in their NBA Cup game, but they came back from down 20, made that a game. That was exciting to watch. VJ Edgecombe looks legit. But the guy that we're talking about right now, the main guy that is usually the guy that's talking about in Philly, Tyrese Maxey.
I wouldn't say the main guy. I wouldn't say the main guy.
You're not the main guy, but for this season, he's been the main guy. His hot start, he's averaging 33, 32 a game. Are we buying his hot start? Yes or no, Zach? Give me it right now.
It depends to what extent. I buy that Tyrese Maxey is a very good player in this league. I think that's not a hot take at all. I think most people buy that Tyrese Maxey is a very good player in this league. But do I think he's going to continue playing to these standards? No. But I don't think he's going to need to because I trust that, the rest of the team is going to start getting going around him, MVP, one of the greatest centers we've ever seen play the sport. Joel Embiid is still very much the number one option on this team, and I think he'll start to show that coming up. I think Paul George could be better. Obviously, we've seen how great VJ has been. Shout out Adem Bona.
Hey, my boy's a
Fun.
monster down low.
He's pretty fun. Shout out Spurs legend Dominic Dommy Dimes Barlow, my goat.
Don't, Tommy,
Uh,
don't do that to me.
Outside of that, you
You know
got
what you
Quentin
did there, bro.
Grimes.
You know what you did there, bro. That's absurd. That's crazy work.
That
Like
is
I
my
said,
Spurs.
bro,
That is my Spurs legend, though.
one
Come on,
take, bro.
come on, come on. That's Dominic Barlow, bro. That's my Spurs legend, bro. He played in Austin for so long. I love him. I gotta mention him.
Watch your back when you walk home tonight, brother. Anyways, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I I agree with everything you said,
No,
though.
that's the response I expected, though. To be fair.
I agree with everything you said, though. I agree 100%. I agree. Maxey's been unbelievable this year. Obviously, we've seen our fair share of scoring to start the season. It's been historic numbers for everybody around the league. 33 a game he's averaging. 9 assists is what I was kind of surprised about because obviously VJ's the guy that's, kind of, I'm not going to say second option, but stop. What are you still smiling about, bro?
Sorry. I planned that for a while. Shout out Reese. He gave me the idea.
That's unbelievable.
Not to throw him under the bus, but he gave me the
Oh my
idea.
God.
I had to use the opportunity to
That's
talk about my
crazy.
goat Dominic Barlow.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I know where he lives too. He better watch his back.
Same
tonight,
place
too.
as you.
Hey, he better watch his back tonight, man. That's all I'm saying. We ain't gotta. We're not gonna talk. Nah, you know what? Maxey's what we're talking about right now.
How much do you buy just this level of production? Like, do you think it's sustainable over the season?
No, I'm always the type of guy that like lays back in the first 2 weeks of the season, kind of like notices how everybody's doing, but I don't take it into effect or factor. Like it's a weird analogy, but if you ever taken a stats class, there's something called a Z score where you filter in different things, to find like a percentage of something out of 1 to see like how good it is, and the closer to 1 it is, the better they are. And if I was to make like a Z score, I'd take the first 2 weeks of the season and make it like 10% of a grade worth. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not really taking too much into account, but I am noticing it. I mean, he's been really good. I think if he keeps doing this into like maybe next week and the week after that, then it'll be something to keep note of. But I mean, he was nuts against Boston. He dropped 44 against New York, I want to say. I don't know who it was. It was 43 against Orlando. That's who it was. 39 against Washington, 26 against Boston in the NBA Cup game on Friday. And I mean, like I was saying earlier, like the 9 assist part is what it's caught my attention because I've always seen him kind of as a playmaker, but the Philly doesn't really have like the scoring where like he's able to get 9 assists a game while drop 35 a game, which is kind of interesting to see in the stats. So I don't think the production stays, but I think the impact stays, if that makes sense.
I mean, yeah, and I think the production is kind of gonna go the way of his shooting here.
Yeah,
Right now he's shooting absolutely an unreal.
it's insane.
Clip from 3. He's shooting almost 47%, 46.8% on 9.4 attempts per game. I don't think that volume, and maybe the volume, but I don't think that level of efficiency on that volume is going to stand throughout the course of the season. So I think we're obviously going to see the numbers come down. But to say I'm not impressed with Tyrese Maxey's start would be an understatement because this is just ridiculous what he's done. I mean, Embiid obviously hasn't had the greatest start to the season. He's coming off a summer where he was banged up. He kind of just got healthy last few games of the preseason. So he's putting the team on his back whenever he needs to. And I look forward to seeing what he has the rest of the season, honestly.
I know. I think what's kind of interesting to note is like he's having a great start, 33.7 points per game. But it's almost like we talked about it last week on Monday when we were like, well, here's your top 5. It's Giannis, Shea, Doncic, Wemby, and Jokic in terms of who's up there in terms of performance and player production right now. So like he's having such a great start, but he's being shadowed by those guys, and even more people like Austin Reeves. Devin Booker's been playing really well. Jalen Brunson's been playing really well. Like Maxey's kind of like not even really getting a lot of the spotlight attention that he deserves compared to those guys, and he's doing just as good or even better because he's taking that Philly team to a start that I didn't really see coming out of them. I thought it was gonna be more about how they finish and more than how they start the season. I thought they were gonna be shaky and rocky, but he's kind of like leveled that boat for them, and he's got them smooth sailing going forward. So, I mean, shout out to Maxey. Anything else you want to add on that before we move to the next topic?
Not much more. I mean, it's ridiculous what he's done, and I do agree with you that he hasn't been getting enough coverage. But yeah, let's keep it going.
Yeah, go ahead. This is your take. So not take, but like this is your.
It's my question.
Yeah.
That's what you should say. But it's my question to you: is AJ Mitchell legit?
I have okay. I'm gonna say no,
Really?
but in a different sense than like people you would usually say no for. I say no for the situation he's in. Yes, for the player he is. Um, AJ Mitchell is OKC right now. Is in OKC and he's doing wonderful things. But you have to consider OKC hasn't had Jalen Williams for the start of the season. And so, AJ Mitchell's role in the team has been a lot bigger, as we've seen around the league with people going out, next man up mentality, and AJ Mitchell's been given the opportunity to shine. And he's taken that opportunity and done great things with it. So am I saying he's a great player? Yes. Those numbers that he's averaging, I mean, 8.3 or 17.3, about 3 rebounds, 3 assists a game. Great, shooting numbers, 30% from 3, 44% from the field. Like he's doing good. Like he's a great player and all that stuff. When Jalen Williams comes back, those numbers are going to come back a little bit to what he's normally used to, which is around like 8 points a game for his career. And so like once J-Dub comes back, he'll start getting into the role of things. He'll take those stats away from him. But that doesn't go to say AJ Mitchell is a bad player or not legit. It's just once things kind of start fitting in for the rest of the season, he's going to have to find a role that's not, primarily scoring for him, which is what he's doing right now. So I think it'll be interesting to see, but I think he could definitely be a valuable role player to another team, or even just for the Thunder. Obviously, he was great last year for them. He's doing great right now. But once Jalen Williams comes, his production is going to drop a little bit. But that's not to say he's not legit. So that's what my take is. But if you want to answer the question straight up, is he legit? Yes. Situationally, not really.
I agree with what you're saying. I think that AJ Mitchell's a very good basketball player, and I think this kind of a ridiculous find by Sam Presti and the Thunder. I think it's also ridiculous the contract he signed. I mean, I don't know why you would do that to yourself. I mean, you get long-term stability, but at the same time, he is a player who deserves much more.
Absolutely. Oh, sorry. Absolutely.
And I buy him as a really good player. I just think his numbers are going to come down a bit once J-Dub comes back. Obviously, like you said, his minutes are going to come down. He's not going to be utilized primarily like as a go-to scorer necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
Now, off the bench, he could be pretty special. He's not the greatest shooter, but he's absolutely unreal at getting to the rim.
Yeah.
Which is also kind of the same talents as J-Dub and Shea. So, I mean, maybe he'll kind of lead the bench unit at times.
Yeah.
Great defender. So he absolutely fits the OKC mold. He's one of the better deflection guys out there.
Mm-hmm.
Good turnover creator. Doesn't give up a high clip when guarding people. I mean, he's a good basketball player, and I think he'll continue to be a good basketball player. I think it's just the relativity of the role.
Yeah. I mean, we're on the same page there, so not much more to say on it. I mean, I think the defense is one thing that we kind of have to mention again. Like that defensive second unit is, if they were to be on the floor at all times, they'd be one of the best defensive units in the league. You have Caruso coming off the bench. AJ Mitchell coming off the bench, Casey Wallace, Isaiah Joe. From time to time, you have why can't I think of the big man? I'm thinking.
Did you say Hart or
Uh,
Chet already?
no, I mean Hart's usually starting, but sometimes Hart maybe you never know. On some cases, so like that's the point like the OKC makes when they bring in subs is not it's not to maintain the lead off an offensive standpoint. It's can you give our guys and give our starters a break while just like suffocating defense while they're out. So like he fits that mold, like you said, almost to perfection. So I mean, yeah, he's legit. Next one, this is your favorite probably. This is your guy right here. Zach is obviously the analytics guy. He loves this guy right here. Ryan Rollins of the Milwaukee Bucks. Look at him cheesing over there. Look
I
at
have
that.
been waiting to talk about Ryan Rollins. I mean, I would have talked about him last week, but I've been waiting for Monday to come so I can
Yeah.
talk about Ryan Rollins.
Yeah, I'll let you spit, bro. Go ahead.
I have loved Ryan Rollins since he was at Toledo. I thought he was a great pick by the Warriors. I mean, I don't even know where to start. Like, this is a guy I've been on for some time. And then when he became a free agent this offseason, I was like, oh my gosh, every team that like doesn't have a crazy amount of salary cap room should be on this guy. And I was kind of pulling hard for the Spurs to get him. I know the Suns and Lakers were in there too. I mean, that would have been an absolutely huge signing for either. He would have been an absolutely huge signing for either of those teams. But I'm kind of happy where he's at with the Bucks because he has a true option to be the second option in Milwaukee. He is the second option right now.
He very
I
much is.
mean, let's just go through the numbers really quick. He's averaging 18 points right now, assisting 13.7 points. He's
Yeah.
getting to the rim at an unreal rate. He's one of the best rim finishers in basketball to start the year. He's shooting 40% from downtown on 5 attempts per game. I want to say he's the fourth most impactful player on the Bucks right now. I know it's early and you don't really want to do net rating, but yeah, he's the fourth most impactful player on the Bucks.
By the plus
Uh,
minus stats or the eye test?
just off, yeah, no, just off the plus minus.
Okay,
Eye
fair enough.
test, eye test is easily second, or I
Yeah.
think you could. I wouldn't argue first, but I think you could argue that he's a
At
bigger
times more
swing.
impactful.
No. I was going to say you could argue he's more of a swing factor than Giannis because this is kind of a guy that nobody really accounted for going into the year.
Yeah, more like an X factor type of thing. Not even X factor. You're right, just a swing factor.
Yeah, no. I mean, and that's not even starting talking about his defense. I mean, he has a 3.4 stop percentage. He's a good turnover guy. Again, like we were talking about with AJ Mitchell, he's one of the better deflection guys in the league. Great steal guy. I mean, obviously he's not like he's a guard through and through, but he is a good defender. And I think he brings so much value to this Bucks team. I think the contract he's on is kind of ridiculous going forward. And this
Yeah.
honestly, it feels to me like Ryan Rollins has almost single-handedly given the Bucks life. I like now I know that sounds crazy to say, but like I see legit
No, I
star
know.
stuff when I watch Ryan Rollins play, when I watch Ryan Rollins create for himself. Like I see some special stuffs, like some special things. I cannot
Yeah.
glaze this guy enough.
I want to highlight what you just said about creating for himself. But like you talk about the defense, he's a great stop like guy. Like he'll wall you up at any point in the game, anywhere on the court. But he's great with his hands, and like he will deflect things and get steals, and he creates possessions for his team. And then on the offensive side of the ball, he capitalizes by creating shots and creating like plays for his team as well and his teammates to feed off of. And we were talking about our award predictions last week. We both had Benedict Mathurin for most improved. Ryan Rollins is not a bad shot when it comes to most improved because he was nowhere really on a lot of people's radar. I mean, maybe not you, but like a lot of people didn't really know about him. And you come to this season, he's averaging 18 points per game, and he looks like he's consistent, like enough to where he's going to do this for the remainder of the season, at least for the most part. So don't sleep on him for most improved player, I think.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, as a Ryan Rollins fan, I'm going to be pulling for Ryan Rollins all day and all night to win Most Improved Player. But yeah, I hope the consistency keeps up,
That's just the big thing. It's the
and
consistency.
I will be here the entire season pushing Ryan Rollins propaganda. Yeah.
That's very fair enough. Let's go on to point 4. This is also yours. Go ahead and this is not your point, or maybe it is, but hey, I don't know if there's supposed to be a question mark at the end of this, or if there's supposed to just be like this is a statement that you're saying.
Yes and no. Just talking about Paolo Banchero in general. I think this is something that I'm wondering your opinion on too.
It's
And that's it's just his struggles to start the year because
it's
the
been
match
so
obviously
weird.
it's such a short sample size, but the Magic currently are better with Paolo off the court,
Really,
and it's been that way
you can kind of see
since
that with the
last
eye
year,
test too.
since before last year.
I mean, it's interesting. I feel like his numbers are inflated just because of the touches and the minutes he plays. He's averaging
Yeah,
23
of
over
course.
23 a game,
Yeah,
9 rebounds, 4 assists. But is it an efficient 23? From what I think in the eye test, I know you have the numbers behind it. From the eye test, it's not really. When I watch Orlando play, it's get the ball to Paulo, kind of it's weird iso ball. The offense is very stagnant. Nobody's really back cutting. Nobody's really moving off the ball. There's no back screens, anything like that. No back doors, and it's kind of like get the ball in Paulo's hands at the high post or something like that. Let him go to work. But he's not the most effective or efficient in that department, which is just a little interesting to see why they keep going to that when their success is primarily built off of set plays, use Desmond Bain on an off screen, use Franz Wagner in the low post, see if you can get some backdoors and some, kickouts, and they're a really good 3-point shooting team minus Paulo, who's not shooting the greatest from 3-point this season. Um, and so it's interesting because I put him in my All NBA third team prediction, which I knew was audacious, but I had the thought that he was going to be able to take a consistent leap. He has all the talent in the world. He was the first overall pick for a reason. He was great at Duke. Yeah, he was one of the number one prospects in the country when he came out of high school. But it's like, can he string together like good enough games where he's effective at things other than just scoring? And right now, I don't really see it. His build isn't built for him to play super great on ball defense. And then on offense, obviously that same build translates to just get me the ball in the post, like I said earlier. But when they say go to work, he's got to put that work in. Like he's got to hammer at home, and he's just not right now. So I do think it's a little bit of an early season slump. I think he will figure it out, but I don't think he's going to figure out enough to the point where he's going to validate where I thought he was going to finish the season as a third team All NBA. Yeah, he's an interesting specimen to be looking at for the rest of the season.
yeah. I put this down just because I was going into the year still. I continue to be a huge Orlando Magic believer. Like I think the
Yeah,
squad has some juice, but right now it just isn't looking like it. Obviously, Paolo's not really helping the problem. I don't think he's necessarily the only problem with the Magic, but he certainly isn't helping it. I mean, I saw a statistic the other day that for the most part, the Magic are running their offense through Tyus Jones
yeah,
and
yeah.
somebody else. I don't even want to say it's Paolo. And Franz is like the third, kind of like the third option initiating offense. When
It's more. It's a
Franz
lot
is the
of like.
best player on that team and the best initiator on that team.
Yeah,
So I think getting Franz more on ball reps is just key in general before you even start to talk about Paulo. But once you
yeah,
get into Paulo, I think a lot of the points you made were great. The offense really kind of stagnant around him. A
yeah.
lot of it is give Paulo the ball and let him cook. I mean, you look at his true shot attempts per 100. He's shooting 28.5 a game, which is the 95th percentile. So like it truly is just get Paulo the ball on offense sometimes.
Yeah.
But it doesn't help because his relative true shooting is negative 1.5.
Yeah,
And
it's interesting because it's like get Paul the ball, and then obviously it's stagnant. And I mean, they're towards the bottom of the league. They're bottom 5 in assists per game with under 24 a game. Like that's just not winning basketball for a team that you'd expect lots of movement from off the ball and things like that. I think the guy that you're looking for that was a quote unquote second or third option was Jalen Suggs because
oh yes. I can't believe I
he's
blinked on Suggs.
yeah, he's been Suggs has been decent. I feel like he's turned into one of those more like role player elite two-way players, which I like, which is what they need. But Paul's got to get it going for them to get anything rolling this season. So it's kind of on him.
But yeah, I mean, continuing on with what I was saying, I mean, his on-ball percentage is 25%, which is
Damn.
99th percentile for his position. I mean, nobody is getting the ball like Paolo.
Yeah,
He's not. It's
in
not
that
the.
position too.
I think sometimes his playmaking issues are overblown. It's not. It certainly isn't great. He can certainly be a lot better, and I think that will be the gap, like a kind of like a swing factor in him being like an elite player and him being just a good player.
Yeah,
But sometimes it could be overblown. Obviously, not the greatest defender, but you're not really asking him to be the greatest defender. You're just
you don't
asking
need
for
him to
more
be. Yeah,
consistency offensively.
yeah,
And his shooting just continues to be a problem. I mean,
yeah.
he's shooting 66% at the rim, 55th percentile for his position. He's continually shoots short mid-range attempts. He's in the 93rd percentile of short mid-range field goal attempts. And he's shooting 25% on short mid-range attempts. I mean,
Yeah,
at that point,
that's where most of his game is too.
that is a shot you have to cut out of your game. Like you can no longer continue to take those shots.
Yeah,
I mean, his 3-point attempt rate's fine. Like right, like at least for now, it's fine. But he's shooting 27% from downtown, which is just not good. Not
yeah,
good for today's NBA.
yeah. It's tough. It's tough to see, but like I still have confidence that he'll not turn it around, but get his legs under him and get his feet going as we move along.
I mean, yeah, I have faith. I have
Yeah,
faith. Don't count Paulo out just yet, but
yeah.
it has been a rough start.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, fifth one. This one was a pretty big one when we first saw it. Uh, this was Friday night as well. I remember when like not the news came out, but like me and Zach were talking about it on Friday night. Trey Young injured with a what do they call it? A knee sprain, MCL sprain.
I want to say it was an MCL sprain, but
I wanna make sure that
he's
I'm getting that right.
supposed to be out a month, which for a
Is
Hawks
bad.
team that many had contending, a Hawks team that I had contending. Obviously, I had the Hawks in my Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah,
I think this is very worrying. I think many people are worried about this.
yeah.
But I think the Hawks kind of avoided disaster here with it only being a month. But
It could
still,
have been a
a lot can happen in a month, and that's scary.
from
So
what it looked like a torn ACL. And it's only a sprained MCL, which is probably what if you've seen the injury, obviously maybe don't want to see that kind of stuff. But like from the looks of it, it looked like an ACL tear, and he was going to lose his season. So for what it is, it's probably the best case scenario in terms of what happened. But like you said, the Hawks are kind of on a roll. They finally somehow found their groove of how to work with Jalen Johnson coming back, using Trae Young, all this kind of stuff, and then he goes down with that injury, and it's like okay, now we're kind of back to square one, but we're so far back from square one. Like what do you really do? And it sucks, but I feel like now, at least for right now, for the next month, I feel like this team can stay somewhat competitive and stay afloat. They have Jalen Johnson, who we're both super high on, and like I feel like he's serviceable enough to where he can keep this team afloat, towards the top of the East, and still have great numbers. And then once Trey comes back, you have now Jalen Johnson, who might be putting up some all-star numbers, and then Trae Young, who's an all-star coming back. So now you have just a great team around, and then you can contend mid-season and late season. But for right now, it's about staying afloat, next man up for the Hawks. Like that's just a huge blow for their 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 goals going forward this season. It's almost like they're putting on hold and postponing them for right now, which just sucks.
I mean, you look at the season Trey was having so far. Obviously, elite playmaker. Like, there's not much more to say there, really.
Yeah.
Just the engine, one of the best engines in basketball.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't start the season shooting that well, though. That's the thing. That's the thing. He was kind of slumping for the most part. I mean, I think he shot 19% from three, which is just crazy considering that's Trae
Yeah.
Young.
Yeah.
I mean, 53% at the rim, whatever. But yeah, no, 19% from three is just crazy considering it's Trae Young.
Yeah.
And I think there were some times where the team was kind of not necessarily suffering because of it, but just the team was struggling out the gates.
Mm-hmm.
And so obviously that isn't going to help. Defense, like, you don't got to say much. It's Trae Young defending, I feel. I think that's kind of like beating a dead horse talking about Trae Young on defense, but
yeah,
it is what it is. I'm not going to say I'm like excited about him out, but I am excited at the prospect of seeing more Jalen Johnson, seeing more Jalen Johnson 1A hoops. Like, I'm really invested in Jalen Johnson stocks, and I think this is kind of going to be a big chance for him to break out. Maybe we'll see him on an All-Star team this year. Honestly, he was playing at that caliber last year.
Yeah.
So really, he has a chance at the All-Star team, especially with Trae down now.
Yeah, I agree. Let's talk about these ones. These next two are obviously intertwined. Let's start with the one at the bottom though. Bulls first 5-0 start since. Was it first in franchise history, or was it first in a while at least?
It was first since 1996.
Oof,
and
yeah,
we know
we know what that's about.
We know the legacy of that squad.
Yeah, we know what that's about. But are they legit? They're 5-1 right now, second in the East. It's a great vibes team. This team is really meshing together. Who we're gonna talk about one of their players next. But I mean, Nikola Vucevic has been one of the most premier rebounders in the league right now. He's been playing really well down low. Just as a team, they're top 10 in scoring, and their defense has been really active. I think. Why am I getting? My mom is calling me. Sorry. And their defense is really active. Obviously, they have Montes Buzelos, who we talked about last year, who was a candidate for most improved. He's playing like that, a guy that could be, talked about that in the end of the season, that conversation. So first off, without mentioning the name of the player that we're going to talk about next, I want to talk about him like on a spotlight standpoint. Are the Bulls legit? I think so, yes. What's your take on it?
It's tough to say. I think there's a lot of reason for at least some optimism in Chicago. But at the same time, they have kind of gotten extremely lucky to say. And I feel like that's I feel like that's such a terrible excuse to say, or terrible thing to say, but you go through the game, you look through the stats, opponents are missing some wide open threes.
Yeah.
Some threes that shouldn't be questioned about if they should be made or not. And I think I believe the stats reflect that. And I think they're tied currently with the Thunder for wins over expected so far, and they're both at 1.1, I want to say. Though not necessarily saying they've been getting lucky, but they have had some luck on their side.
Yeah, and an easy start this season too, in terms of schedule. I mean, they've played.
I mean, they beat the Knicks. I mean, come on, they you can't just say I'm not saying you were saying that, but you can't act like they haven't beaten anybody, because they
beat and lost though, so they're 1-1.
Yeah,
but I mean, their wins before them: Detroit playoff team last year, Orlando playoff team last year, Atlanta high hopes playoff team this year, Sacramento, oh, and then the Knicks, obviously 1-1 against them in the past 2 games. So they haven't beaten it's not like they haven't beat nobody. Obviously Detroit, Orlando, Atlanta, New York, decent opponents and decent sides, but it's like you said, it's opponents getting lucky. and missing just easy shots. This next upcoming schedule though is something that I want to look into a little bit real quick. This is what's going to determine if they are legit or not. Yeah, Philly tomorrow night. That's home against Philly. And then you go on a short road trip, Milwaukee and Cleveland. Those two or those three right there are, considered the top in the East right now. Philly, obviously, they're tied with them for number one in the East. Milwaukee, Giannis, and then let's talk about Ryan Rollins. And Cleveland was number one seed last year. So all three of those are, Eastern contenders. Then you host San Antonio, who we talked about. Wemby's over, unbelievable. That's another test right there to see if you can stifle a team that has an MVP candidate on their team. And then again, at Detroit, they beat them in their first game of the season. But again, Detroit's a feisty side, playoff team last year. Obviously, they have some of the best optimism in the league right now based off their recent success. So those next 5 games are really telling to see if this team is legit. If they come out of that game, that stretch with 3-2, 4-1, a win against Philly, a win against Milwaukee, win against San Antonio, it's a different conversation than, or at least more confidence than what I have right now saying yes. But as of right now, I do say yes. Maybe call me back in a couple weeks and we'll come back to it, and maybe we'll see in the bottom West or Eastern Conference. But right now, I think it's a cool thing to say yes.
And yeah, I wouldn't outright say yes. I agree with you in that sentiment, but I am at the very least intrigued with this squad, and a lot of that is due to the player we're going to be highlighting.
Go ahead,
Josh Giddey. I mean, who would have thought it? Who would have thought we'd be here talking about Josh Giddey? I mean, really and truly, who thought we were going to be talking about Josh Giddey? I did. I mean,
yeah.
I thought I took him in consideration as like a outlier, outside looking in candidate for my top 100 players list. But even then, that felt like a bit high, just because I don't want to put too much stocks into March hoops. But I saw some stuff that impressed me last year, and that's kind of carried over into this season. I mean, currently he's averaging 22. He's assists 19 points a game, 8 rebounds. I mean, I think the biggest thing to note is just that his 3-point shooting is held up from March. He's shooting 45% from downtown.
Yeah.
On 4.4 attempts per game, which, if you've watched Josh Giddey, if you kept track of his career, shooting's a huge swing factor in how he plays. And the fact that he's been able so far to keep up with this good shooting, I think that means that there could be a good player in here,
Absolutely.
There's still, Josh Giddey still could be a good player in this league.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just think he didn't work out in OKC. I guess it's unfortunate for him. I mean, but he's kind of found his home, it seems like.
Yeah, it is. And there was questions this offseason about, he was a restricted free agent or
restricted free agent, yeah.
Yeah, re-signed with the Bulls, but there was questions like, are we going to see the same Giddey that we saw to close out last season? Usually the answer for that is yes. But Giddey was an outlier because we haven't really seen it from him like that ever. And I mean, coming to this season, he's almost averaging triple-double, 22, 9, 8. And that 8's closer to 9, actually. So it's almost like 22, 9, and 9. And he just came off a game last night against New York in their first loss where he had 23, 11, and 12, triple-double. Night before that, or Friday against New York, when they went 5-0 to start the season, 32, 10, and 9. For that, 28 and 12, 18, 13, and 5. These are numbers that we see out of the top guys like Jokic, Luka, Westbrook when he was in his prime. Those kinds of numbers that, are all-star and top of the league worthy. It's just about consistency again with this Bull squad in general, seeing if he can stay afloat. But the way they're playing, it's great vibes and great for the culture. And I don't know if you want to do this right now, but we have a friend who says there's nobody that has it worse than Bulls fans. Well, you got one of the best players playing basketball right now. So let's leave it.
I wouldn't go that far, but there's definitely a lot of teams that.
No, not best, but one of the better players in basketball right now. I'd say that, at least.
I think you could say one of the better stories, because you're talking about a guy who kind of got written off in OKC. I mean, you can't say his value is completely diminished. He got traded for Alex Caruso, of all players. So
yeah.
There was some value there. There was some hope, but it just clearly didn't work out in OKC, and it was time to move. And
Yeah.
I think it's
Shout out
awesome to
why
see him doing what he's doing.
shout out Wyatt Bomar. Next, this point came up on Friday night. It's
Yeah,
been circling
yeah.
around. It's kind of actually an interesting story, but it's one that I mean doesn't surprise me or a lot of people. Uh, the news point is Ja Morant struggling. Talk about that a little bit first. He hasn't been shooting the ball very well. The Memphis Grizzlies look like they are in a I don't even know what kind of mode. A cruise control, but at 20 miles per hour cruise control. His shooting numbers have been atrocious. 40% from the field, 15% from three. He's not getting to the rim like he
He's getting
used
to the
to,
rim. He's getting to
but
the
he's
rim at
not.
a fine rate, but it is not Ja Morant rate.
Yeah,
He's 89th percentile amongst his position in getting to the rim,
yeah,
but like
that's bad.
Ja Morant, you're expecting high 90s, like 99 almost. And
And
even then,
high flying too.
once he's getting to the rim, he's not shooting very well. He's in the 59th
Yeah,
percentile. He's shooting 63% at the rim,
yeah.
which
You're saying,
for Ja Morant, a guy whose game predicates on getting to the rim and finishing at the rim, that means he's not playing well,
yeah.
flat out.
It's bad, and it was showcased on Friday night, which leads into what we're going to talk about. Kind of the bigger story of him right now. Lakers game Friday night, NBA Cup Prime. He had 30 minutes and scored 8 points on 3 of 14 shooting, 6 from 3, 7 assists though. I mean, that's decent, but what else can you do if you're not scoring the ball as the number one option? And he had 1 board, 1 steal, whatever. But like that wasn't the big part. He played poorly, and then the coaching staff went over and said like they need more out of him basically. And he kind of who said it first? I don't know who said anything first, but basically Ja kind of shaded the coaching staff out and was like I don't know exactly what it was. I don't. Do you have it? It was something like
I
they
don't know the
basically
exact quote. I don't want
he
to
basically
misquote
just
him.
called him out. Yeah, he basically just called him out. That's the bottom line. Called him out, and then he's now serving a 1 game suspension for detrimental comments about the team. I think that's what it was
Conduct
labeled as.
detrimental to the team. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was labeled as. So, I mean, I feel like was it the NBA or the Grizzlies that suspended him?
I want to say it was the
I think it was
Grizzlies.
I thought it was the NBA.
I think the Grizzlies have that responsibility though. I think they have the ability and are therefore in charge of suspending Ja.
It was Memphis that suspended him. Yeah, for detrimental conduct to the team. Uh, it's interesting because I, for a player like Ja, I really do like Ja. He, I've loved him at Murray State. I would love watching him in college, and he's been a fun player to watch in the league. And he's kind of that like not prototype, but he's kind of like created this new era of new modern day, young hoopers and stuff like that. And like it's just interesting to like he kind of just keeps falling under this kind of wing and this kind of news, which is a very unfortunate. I don't want to see any player, fall under this kind of news. But his comments, I think, were just incredibly out of line, in my opinion. Like he straight up, flat out, did not play well. And a lot of that game, I mean, I watched it full because I'm a Lakers fan, but like a lot of people that maybe didn't, like that game, he started off with the ball a lot and then sat out for a majority part of the middle part of the game. And then like every time he got the ball, it just felt like nothing was going to happen with the offense. And they're running it primarily through guys like Jaren Jackson and Cedric Coward, who's been great for the season for them. But like, it's kind of like, it's almost like he took his frustration out on the wrong person. Like his struggles have nothing to do with the coaching staff. And I feel like based off his struggles this season, he kind of like got frustrated and got a little lashed out of line, whatever. But I don't. What's your thought on it? I feel like I've been yapping for a little bit.
I agree with a lot of what you said. Ja is obviously struggling this year. I mean, I talked about the rim percentage. We've talked about what he's shooting from three.
Yeah,
I mean, he's still a great playmaker. That's Ja Morant for you,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just unfortunate, and I kind of tend to agree with him. I can't find stats that back it up, but I can't find the stats right now on the top of my head to back it up. But I've seen stats that corroborate with what Ja is saying, that a lot of his struggles are due to the coaching staff
Yeah.
and the new offense that is being ran by the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
Now, not saying this is all on the coaching staff, but I think that I think that a lot of Ja's struggles are kind of stemming from the coaching staff, if that makes sense.
Yeah. That's definitely, yeah, definitely makes sense. Yeah. I think what the part that frustrates me more isn't that he's struggling or it's the coaching staff, whatever. It's you're a star player, you're a superstar in this league. No matter what offense you put in, you shouldn't have to, like there shouldn't be. Obviously, there's adjusting to be made, but if you're a star in this league like Ja Morant is at that level that you play at, you shouldn't be like struggling in a new offense. You've had the offseason to prepare. You've had the preseason to prepare. You've had now 7 games to prepare, or not prepare, but you've played in. Like you should be picking up on it, and a lot of it, a lot of it is yes on the coaching staff, like you said, sure, but like a lot of it is just like make your shots, finish at the rim like you used to, like you're used to in your career, like be the jaw that we know. You know what I mean? We're just not seeing that out of him, and then obviously frustration boils over. But that's a different topic. Like just be the jaw we know. Like be fun. You're a fun hooper. That's what it is. Be fun.
Yeah, but in the same breath, I wanted to get back to it. I was talking about the coaching staff and how they have kind of failed him, it feels like.
Yeah.
Ja Morant is a guy who loves a good pick and roll. I mean, Ja Morant
Yes.
absolutely thrives running P&R. He's one of the best P&R guards in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And the Grizzlies have one of the best screen setters and one of the best rollers in the league.
Mm-hmm.
A guy who you drafted to do that with Ja and Zach Edey. And I saw some stats. I can't pull them up right now, so I can't accurately cite them. But I saw some stats saying that the Grizzlies currently just aren't running P&R at a high rate. And in fact, they're running this offense that relies a lot on ISO ball, and it's just not currently working out. I mean,
Yeah.
I pulled up the stats. The Grizzlies are ranked 19th in the league for half court offense, which is far from great and far from the marks of a good team.
Mm-hmm.
So there clearly is some issue there. Not saying it all lies on the coaching staff, but it's far from just a Ja problem in Memphis, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. And
Yeah.
I just don't think that Ja is being utilized to his fullest.
Yeah. I I agree with that. I want to okay, the back half of this is if John Morant, requests a trade or the Grizzlies decide to move on from him, where do you think he goes? Or
Necessarily,
what team do you think calls first?
I don't necessarily have a lot of places in mind. I mean, there's obviously a lot of point guard needy teams out there. Maybe you see a Minnesota call. Maybe you see a Houston call. I mean, I think those are the two biggest teams that pop up to mind first whenever you think of point guard needy team. I don't necessarily know about the fit with either of those rosters,
It's
but
interesting, yeah.
if there is a point guard needy team out there, I have to imagine they'd be calling about Ja, especially with his value right now, because I think his value would have to be lower than it usually is. I think it'd be kind of a buy low move almost. Not that they're not going to, not that the Grizzlies are going to get a small package in return, or that they're
Yeah.
not going to get a few first round picks at minimum for him, but it would be lesser than the price was a few years ago. Let's just say that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the teams that could be sneaky, that's been sneaky good this season as well, is the Miami Heat. They could use a point guard. I think, obviously, like you just said before, Ja's game heavily relies on the pick and roll, and they have one of the best pick and roll guys in Bam Adebayo on their team, who's incredibly strong, great screen setter, and rolls to the rim, and just nobody wants to take him down. Like that would be a great fit, I think, with him. And Miami's, they have the pieces around to, if they have like that true number one guy in John Morant, if he plays like that in Miami, like he has been in the past in Memphis, then you have a solid contender in the East. So I think a team like that, but are they maybe waiting one more year before they start putting pieces into like contention, so they can start contending for Eastern Conference championships and stuff like that? Maybe, but I feel like that would be like a time right now if you want to get a guy to play with Bam and you know be a building block going forward. This is your guy now, so you can buy low on it, like you said.
I don't necessarily hate that, and I think that's already talked about it on the pod this season. I think it was during the top 100 players, but
Yeah,
Tyler Hero has a contract extension coming up,
that yes,
and I don't think the Heat should pay him. I don't
yeah, that's fair.
think he's worth what he's going to want, especially fresh off making the All-Star game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't see any reason for the Grizzlies to take on Tyler Hero, but
Like a one
maybe
for
that's
one swap type of thing.
obviously not one for one. It's not going to be one for one. There's going to be all sorts of picks and other players involved.
But yeah. But
But
that's the main guys.
I was just saying that maybe Hero could be included in that package. I mean, I think that would be a win for the Heat. Buy low on John Morant, get off of having to pay Tyler Hero however much money he's expecting.
Mm-hmm.
But no, yeah, I think that's interesting. I don't think they'd make the Heat contenders, but
I know. Yeah,
I certainly would think of them a lot better if they got John Morant.
yeah. Obviously, I feel like yeah. Let's get off that topic. A couple more. I don't. This all of this last segment kind of encapsulates everything that Mr. DeRosick over here witnessed last night at Mortgage Matchup Center in Phoenix, Arizona, a couple blocks away from us right now. What do you want to start off first? You want to talk about your team or you want to talk about the other team?
Let me be a little bit selfish real quick. Let's talk about the Spurs.
All right, go ahead. Wemby stunk it up last night. Dylan Harper injured. Go.
Yeah, just bad night. Bad night. Not much more to say. Just nothing really positive came out of that game for the Spurs, aside from a bit of development from Stephon Castle. I mean, I loved what I saw from Stephon Castle last game. I can't even tell you how many threes Phoenix hit. They had some absurd shooting luck in that game. They hit like 18 or 19. Maybe they got to 20.
See, let's find out.
But it just felt like they couldn't miss. And towards the end of that game, the spacing was just ridiculous. I mean, you could drive a Mack truck through some of the lanes that were being created through the spacing at the end of that game. I mean, it was ridiculous. I loved a lot of what I saw from Stephon Castle. To me, it's very obvious he's not a point guard in this league. He's so much better when there's a point guard on the court. It's not even funny. But I think he's going to be a key part of the Spurs team going forward. I just don't think that's coming from the position of point guard. I think that's kind of the end all be all there. And
Fair enough.
Yeah, no. Wemby stunk it up. Let's just put it out there. Not the greatest shooting affair. But more than the Wemby stinking it up, I would like to highlight Jordan Ott, Suns rookie head coach, Jordan Ott, and the game he called yesterday, because I thought yesterday's game was very well coached from the Phoenix Suns. I think they had some of the best coverage I've seen against Wemby, like really like OKC type stuff. It really reminded me of what OKC did last year in the Spurs' first matchup with the Thunder last year.
Kind of just blitz Wemby kind of thing.
Really just blitz Wemby. I mean,
yeah.
And even then, a lot of the times the Suns were sticking Mark Williams or whoever the big was at the time in help and just leaving Royce O'Neal on Wemby. I feel like Royce O'Neal or Ryan Dunn was matched up on Wemby so much last night. But then as soon as Wemby gets the ball, there's always somebody tagging. There was always even like Jordan Goodwin, Colin Gillespie. Like, it doesn't matter the size. You're getting a bunch of these guys just tagging Wemby, ripping the ball he had a lot of turnovers last night too, and even then, when Wemby was making the correct play, which he made more often than not, getting the ball out on those double teams, finding the open man, the Spurs just weren't knocking down shots, and it's not a recipe to succeed. And until De'Aaron Fox comes back, it's I'd expect more of the same. Because why wouldn't you just double and triple Wemby if nobody else can knock down a shot?
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of makes me more excited for the return of De'Aaron Fox. I not only am excited to see what Fox brings in his own game, but I'm excited to see what he brings of Wemby's game, and I'm excited to see what Wemby brings of his game.
Yeah.
So I think the Spurs team really is missing some guys right now.
Yeah. Well, like you said just now, they're gonna continue to miss some guys because before we record this podcast, Sean was reported Dylan Harper is out for a couple weeks. Strained his calf muscle. Go find a video of it on Twitter or X, wherever you want. But it looks like he avoided obviously a serious injury, and obviously there's an Achilles scare with a calf injury. But he's out a couple weeks. Like you just said, return to De'Aaron Fox is looming. He was game time decision last night. He's gonna be game time decision tomorrow, probably for the next couple week or next week. We'll see when he plays. But you are missing that, like you said. But what are your thoughts? This is your guy, this is your team. Like, where do you go moving forward? Like, where's the depth come from?
Depth.
It's interesting. That's the hard part. You know what I mean? Like,
I think you just pray De'Aaron Fox gets healthy, really and truly.
mm-hmm.
It's kind of the end all be all. You got to pray De'Aaron Fox gets healthy. Castle running point guard, like I said, no bueno. I don't love it.
Yeah.
Jordan McLaughlin, all right, playing spot minutes, I guess. He's not great. Actually, not really good either. But you're going to have to work with what you're going to have to work with right now with no Dylan Harper.
The thing that's hard is like Fox didn't come back, but it takes time. This is going to be his first game of the season in a while, so it's going to take time to get adjusting to playing with the new look Wemby, kind of, if you want to say it in that sense. Like, things are going to have to be getting used to. You guys are going to have to fix your system a little bit on offense and defense. He's obviously fast, but small guy, so fix things on defense. So, I mean, great start to the season, but this injury to Harper really puts a wrench in things, and it's like, y'all gonna have to expect for the next couple weeks some adjustments, and just like kind of like it's almost like game one starts when Fox comes back, if that makes sense.
I agree. I agree with that sentiment, and I think this is obviously why you don't trade away De'Aaron Fox. I mean, I saw it. I'm sure you saw it too. After Dylan Harper had some great games to start out the season, after Stephon Castle started the season out on fire, I'm sure you saw
I saw all of it. Yeah.
Why don't the Spurs trade De'Aaron Fox? So why don't the Spurs go all in on Harper? And this is like exactly why you don't do it.
Exactly.
Because in case something like this happens, I mean, where's the depth coming from? That's like what you just asked me.
Yeah, like
where is the depth coming from?
It's just not there.
But getting back to the Suns, I really, really liked what I saw from the Suns last night. I mean, that was a competitive game. Like it wasn't really a competitive game, but that was the level of competitiveness that I want to see out of this year's Suns squad. I want to see them make something happen. Be a fun team. Like, you're not going to win the most games ever. I mean, you're not going to really. There's no real expectations, so why not go out there and just be a fun squad? Kind of be a wrench in good teams' sides. Like, go out there and beat good teams here and there. I think that'd be really fun.
One is for development, and two, it's just be competitive. It's almost like this Suns team feels like, except with the exception of a couple guys like Book, maybe Malawash, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, like guys that like are part of that core. But like, it's kind of like a tryout for the rest of the league. Like, if you want a chance to get into the league, like, I'm not saying like go play for the Suns, but like,
that's crazy.
But like, if you get a chance to play with the Suns, like, just go out and compete. Like, there's no expectations for you if you're on that Suns roster. So go out there and just compete, have fun, play well, and then you'll get some chances at other places. Remember, you'll get a contract with them for the coming future as one of their guys, right? So just compete, which is something that you can really only ask for from this squad this season, I think.
I mean, yeah, and I put it in our notes. So I don't know if I've mentioned it yet. Buy Jordan Ott stocks because I already said I was very impressed with the game he called last night.
Yeah,
And while Jordan Ott stocks are low, I'm going to go ahead and buy them. I'm not saying he's going to be the greatest head coach ever, but I mean, I like what I saw enough to say that, maybe there's something there.
Yeah, I think a big part of it is like he's not one of those like typical coaches where like they game plan, in practices and stuff like that and all week for this for the matchup. But like when he's in the game, the on the fly adjustments he makes is kind of impressive. Also mentioning the squad that he has, like it's kind of impressive to see like what he does on the fly and stuff like that. So, I mean, shout out him. That's gonna be a great coach for. I mean, if he's on this trajectory that he stays on, he's gonna be good pretty soon, pretty quick for a pretty long time. Anyways, let's head into our final segment to wrap this episode up. Zach's favorite, as always, King of the Hill. Zach, are you ready for your topic for this week, for this Monday?
All right, yeah, let's lock in. Come on. Give it to me.
Your topic. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 9. Don't even look at me like that, bro. I didn't even say it like that. I got 9. I got 9 options for y'all. King of the Hill, we'll start at the top. This is NBA stadiums, venues, and arenas and crowds. So combine all of it into one fan base, all of it. You know what I mean, kind of thing.
Here now, I was getting my stat sheets ready. I mean,
yeah, don't even worry about it, bro. Now here's the thing. Lock in because I didn't use, like you'll see. All right. So your first matchup is the American Airlines Arena in Miami when it was called American Airlines Arena.
Okay.
Right? So think white hot heat, all that kind of stuff, right? Or the current Kings Golden One Center. Think of just in your head, rattle off some crowd pops that you might have remembered from that era.
Mean, like the greatest crowd pop ever was probably that Kevin Huerter 3. Like, I think everybody knows what I'm talking about when I say this. Like that Kevin Huerter 3, like probably the most ridiculous crowd pop I've ever heard.
Probably the loudest I've heard too.
And the thing is, Heat fans around that time, like there was a lot. Like let's be honest here, there was a lot of bandwagons.
Bandwagons, yeah.
A lot of like we all saw the fans that left early. Like, give me the Golden One Center.
All right,
I think it's an upset, but I think the fact that you consider that a lot of Heat fans are bandwagons and like how they don't stay for the entire game, I think I have to.
Yeah, this might also challenge some of your stadium ball knowledge. Golden One Center moves on to face the Paycom Center, home of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Current.
Does it count all time though? Like since the Thunder have moved to OKC, like can I count?
It wasn't called Paycom before. It's called Chesapeake Arena, Energy Arena.
I know, but
so Paycom Center was 2021 to now. So basically, current Kings versus current Thunder.
Yeah, essentially. I'm just going with the Thunder, man. Like it's tough. It's so tough because I think the Kings pop level is better, but I think the Thunder is just more consistent. But they've always been that consistent. It's not necessarily a thing with the current Thunder. That's why I was asking about.
Just
if it could go back to what since they were created. But even not considering that, the Thunder fan base is consistent. They show out,
absolutely.
And most importantly, they wear the shirts. Like that. Biggest red flag. Wear the dang shirt.
Yeah.
Like, and OKC does it at a rate that nobody else in the league does it. So yeah, give me OKC.
All right. Next matchup. Paycom Center versus another throwback. The AT&T Center for the San Antonio Spurs. 02 to 2023. That's tough. They was loud. They got rowdy there. Think of that.
Bias. Give me the AT&T Center, bro. Full bias, bro. Like Come on, I'm not even questioning this, bro. Full bias. Just give me the AT&T Center.
All right, fair enough. AT&T Center moves on. So far, we've moved up the chain. Let's see if it can knock off AT&T Center versus the United Center. Now, the United Center in recent years hasn't been the best, but think about its history. Think about the 98 Bulls, playoff intros.
I'm trying so hard not to be biased here. Like it's really a struggle. Like I don't want to be biased here. Because the Bulls, like even in bad years, the Bulls sell out the UC.
Yes,
Like
bro.
they consistently sell out the UC. And that just oh my gosh. Man.
Hey, it's cool if you bias, bro. That's cool. I respect that.
No, but I don't want to be biased. I was kind of already biased last round a little bit, but even then, I still think I'd take AT&T. But still, I gotta go with the UC.
All right.
It's the UC.
We keep moving up the chain. Now, obviously, this is interesting one. You got the UC United Center versus the SC, the Staples Center, which is 2000, 90, 98, 99 to 2022.
I'm tired of like keeping the chain going, like keeping the line going. Like I want some upsets. Like I want one team to like one stage to dominate. But I feel like for the most part, you're giving me like tiered. You're giving me good tiers. Like it's just going up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So give me the Staples Center. Like as you could tell from that response, give me the Staples Center. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, man.
Yeah.
It's literally it's the Staples Center. I don't need to explain much. It's the Staples Center. Like you know it. I know it.
I
Everybody knows
absolutely
it. It's
know
the
it.
Staples Center. Like
Shout out Staples Center. I miss it every day. Staples Center versus, this is now rivalry territory, Staples Center or the TD Garden?
give me Staples Center. I'm not gonna lie.
Staples.
I had to try to put on like an inquisitive face to like make it seem like I was considering that there, but like
All right.
no, I'm not really considering that. Like let's be
All
real.
right. All right. Now, you got the first upset happen. Staples Center now faces my personal favorite. Shout out the Bay, Oracle Arena.
All right, yeah, see. I was waiting for this. Like from the second you started, I was waiting for Oracle to come up. Yeah, it's not really close, bro. Give me Oracle. Like
Yeah. All right.
no
Fair
offense,
enough.
no offense, but also full offense to Staples. No, I'm kidding. But
Absolutely.
no offense. It's just Oracle. It's
Full
different.
offense to Chase Center. That's what we're going to say
Full
about
offense
that.
to Chase Center. Yes, absolutely.
Full offense to Chase Center. Now, here's your final. Oracle Arena, which is one of our two favorites,
Versus the Guard.
versus the Mecca, MSG.
Yeah, I know.
I have my opinion on it.
This is tough.
Just do it, bro.
But
Just do
at
it.
the same
I know you
time,
want to. I know
I
you
don't think
want
it's
to.
that tough. Give me Oracle.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, you think some of the best moments in the history of basketball, some of the loudest crowd reactions, some of the most passionate fans, you think of Oracle Arena. And don't get me wrong, MSG is electric. I think it's easily second when it comes to stadiums rankings. But when you could take into account how much it costs to get into MSG. Now I'm sure Oracle costs quite a bit. I mean, I don't personally. I never lived in the Bay. I never went to Oracle, so I mean, what would you say from experience comparatively to MSG?
Well, Oracle is pre-COVID, so I'll take into account what I know about experience. It's it wasn't that bad. It was in the East Bay, so obviously you paying still to get there. Maybe public transportation or driving for gas, but like it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad compared to what it is now at Chase Center.
Yeah, and then you compare that to MSG. Like, could you imagine trying to go to a playoff game at MSG? I mean, it's so like MSG is nice. The Knicks have one of the most passionate fan bases in the league. I mean, you see it just surrounding MSG anytime there's a game. It kind of oozes out of MSG. There's a reason it's the Mecca. It's the Mecca of hoops. But I feel like, unfortunately, at times in the playoffs, real fans get priced out of MSG due to just how much tickets cost. And I just think that's an unfortunate result of society.
And that never happened at Oracle, based off what I know. Just go watch any playoff game at Oracle Arena from 2014 to 2019. It was loud.
I mean, yeah.
And they wore the shirts.
You feel it in your chest. Like you feel it through the screen. Oracle is that special.
It's special. And they wear the shirts.
There's not enough I could say about Oracle Arena. Miss it.
Shout out. It was strength in numbers. God, I hated that slogan when I was a kid. Oh my God, I saw it everywhere. I got almost beat up by a kid wearing one. That was bad. Anyways, that'll do it for this episode. That was episode 8 from the Nosebleeds on a Monday. We appreciate y'all's support. Go follow us on IG. We've been doing some great stuff over there. Smaller content things, clips from the podcast, all that kind of stuff. Follow us on Twitter at From the Nosebleeds, Nosebleeds Hoops. TikTok, that's coming soon. That might be the biggest one. That might blow up. Hopefully it does. We appreciate y'all's support as always. And we will see y'all on Monday for another great episode from the Nosebleeds. Peace out, y'all. Thanks.